Many people believe that the art we hang on our walls is nothing more than a decorative choice. However, in the traditional philosophies of Feng Shui and spiritual practices like Buddhism, art is considered to hold a far deeper power. Each image we place in our homes is not just a simple object. It carries energy that can influence the flow of chi, vital energy, throughout the space. Art has the potential to either enhance the harmonious energy in our home or disrupt the flow, causing subtle but significant shifts in our personal and family well-being. This understanding lies at the core of the ancient wisdom behind Feng Shui and Buddhist teachings on energy, which emphasizes how our environment directly impacts our emotional, financial, and spiritual lives. In this video, we are going to explore why art, particularly the placement of paintings, plays such a significant role in shaping the fortune and harmony of our homes. We will also uncover the types of paintings that can invite bad luck and the seemingly harmless mistakes people often make when decorating their homes with art. Most importantly, we will provide solutions on how to fix any mistakes if you have already made them. Before we dive deeper into this topic, I encourage you to pause and reflect by leaving a positive affirmation in the comments below. Something like, "I am ready to bring positive energy into my home," or "I am open to embracing good fortune and prosperity." Let's all set the intention together, creating the space for transformation. Remember, throughout this video, we'll reveal insights into ancient practices that have been preserved through generations. So make sure to watch until the end to uncover the full depth of this wisdom. In the practice of Feng Shui, every object within a home contributes to the flow of energy, chi. When this energy flows smoothly, it can bring peace, prosperity, and happiness. But when something disrupts this flow, it can lead to financial difficulties, relationship tensions, and even health issues. The placement of paintings in particular is a powerful way to either invite or block the flow of qi. Paintings are not merely visual representations of the world around us. They carry their own energy, which can either harmonize with or disturb the energy of your home. Each image on your wall affects the space it inhabits by sending out its own energetic vibrations. If the vibrations align with the positive energy of the home, the space will feel calm, peaceful, and welcoming. However, if the vibrations clash with the natural energy flow, they can create disturbances in your life. Let's now explore the types of paintings that should be avoided, as they can attract negative energy and misfortune into your life. 1. Fierce animals: tigers, lions, leopards. There is an old Buddhist saying, "A fierce tiger cannot enter a peaceful temple." This ancient wisdom teaches us that when we bring aggressive or overpowering forces into our lives, whether in the form of people, situations, or even images, we are disrupting the harmony that allows us to grow spiritually and emotionally. In the practice of Feng Shui, the placement of objects in our home is seen as a reflection of our inner world. This principle applies to the paintings we hang, especially those depicting fierce animals like tigers, lions, and leopards. On the surface, these animals are awe-inspiring. Tigers symbolize strength and courage. Lions represent leadership and power, and leopards convey agility and grace. It is easy to understand why someone might be drawn to such majestic creatures. However, when we place images of these predators in our homes, we are unknowingly inviting their aggressive energy into our spaces. Their sharp claws, fierce gazes, and predatory stances are symbolic of killing energy, which can manifest in ways we don't even realize. In Buddhist philosophy, everything has energy, and even images carry the vibrational frequency of what they represent. The energy of a predator is one of aggression, survival, and dominance. It is an energy that constantly keeps the mind alert and on guard. When these images are hung in our homes, they act as a constant reminder of battle and defense, creating a sense of restlessness and anxiety. Over time, the presence of these fierce animals can disrupt the peace and balance of your home and even lead to financial instability or interpersonal conflict. A well-known Buddhist story tells of a monk who lived in a peaceful monastery surrounded by lush forests. Despite the serenity of the place, he often felt a sense of unease. One day, a lion's image was hung in the meditation hall to symbolize strength. The next morning, the monk reported an unsettling restlessness that made his meditations difficult. He understood that while the lion symbolized power, it also carried a restless, combative energy that was not conducive to the tranquil energy required for spiritual growth. The story reflects the importance of the environment in fostering inner peace. Thus, while these animals may indeed symbolize strength, they are better suited for areas that require defense and protection, such as spiritual shrines, temples, or places of physical security. At home, where we seek peace, rest, and personal growth, such symbols can create imbalance. It's a subtle lesson from Buddhism and Feng Shui. True strength is found in stillness, not in aggression. 2. Waterfalls flowing outward. Water, in both Buddhism and Feng Shui, symbolizes the flow of life, abundance, and prosperity. There is an old Buddhist saying, "The river does not ask why it flows, yet it nourishes everything in its path." This wisdom teaches that true wealth and prosperity flow effortlessly when we are aligned with the natural flow of life. However, just as water can nurture, it can also drain if misdirected. Many people hang paintings of waterfalls to attract wealth, hoping that the cascading water will bring financial prosperity into their homes. However, according to Feng Shui principles, the direction of the waterfall's flow is of utmost importance. A waterfall painting that flows outward towards the door is believed to symbolize wealth flowing out of your life, carrying with it opportunities, resources, and prosperity. Conversely, a waterfall painting that flows inward towards the center of the room symbolizes wealth being drawn in and accumulated, fostering abundance and stability. This concept is not just a superstition. It is rooted in the deeper understanding of energy flows. In Buddhism, the principle of interdependent origination teaches that everything is interconnected. Just as a river's flow can nourish all who drink from it, so too can the energy in your home either nourish or deplete you, depending on its direction. A painting of a waterfall flowing outward subtly communicates to your subconscious mind that you are not able to retain wealth, causing feelings of loss and instability. The resulting energy block can have long-term effects on your financial and emotional well-being. In the traditional stories of Buddhist monks, water is often depicted as a metaphor for spiritual growth. Just as a river flows freely, so too does wisdom flow through the mind when it is clear and unobstructed. The outward flow of water in a painting can symbolize the opposite, stagnation and depletion. It is a reminder that, much like in the material world, wealth must be allowed to enter and settle to thrive. A waterfall painting that faces inward invites abundance to settle in your space, much like a monk welcomes wisdom into his heart. If you find that your waterfall painting faces outward, consider repositioning it or replacing it with one that shows the water flowing inward. This simple change can dramatically shift the energy in your home, welcoming wealth and prosperity, just as the teachings of Buddhism remind us to align ourselves with the natural flow of abundance. 3. Solitary or lonely subjects. In Buddhist teachings, the concept of Sangha, the community of practitioners, is central to personal and spiritual growth. The Buddha himself often emphasized the importance of companionship and support on the path to enlightenment. A lone practitioner, while capable of deep meditation, is still part of a greater whole. This teaching extends to the concept of energy in our environment. Just as we are not meant to walk the spiritual path alone, neither should our homes be filled with images that convey isolation or loneliness. Paintings of solitary figures, such as a lone bird in flight, a single flower, or a solitary boat adrift in the vast sea may appear peaceful on the surface. However, in Feng Shui, these images carry a significant amount of yin energy. Yin energy is passive, introverted, and reflective, but when it is overrepresented, it can create an atmosphere of isolation and loneliness. Buddhism teaches that isolation is a state of suffering. The Buddha's first noble truth acknowledges that life is filled with suffering, but through the support of others and the realization of interconnectedness, we can transcend this suffering. A solitary image in a home can inadvertently plant seeds of isolation in the hearts of those who live there. Over time, exposure to such imagery can lead to emotional disconnection, where people may feel unsupported or distanced, even from those they love. A story often told in Buddhist teachings is that of a monk who lived in solitude in the mountains, practicing his meditation. While he found peace in his isolation, he soon began to feel a deep sense of loneliness and emptiness. He understood that true peace was not in being alone, but in being part of the interconnected web of life. The teachings of the Buddha remind us that it is through community, sangha, that we grow and evolve. For singles, solitary images can also serve as a subtle reminder of their state of being alone, blocking opportunities for connection and love. It is not that these paintings are inherently negative. Rather, they send a message that reinforces the belief in solitude. In contrast, images of multiple birds, flowers in bloom, or groups of figures can represent harmony, connection, and shared joy, which are essential elements for cultivating balanced relationships. Consider the subtle but profound impact of the images in your home. If you are seeking connection, warmth, and harmony, choose images that celebrate togetherness and abundance, rather than isolation. The home, like the spiritual path, should be a place where energy flows freely, nurturing the emotional connections that sustain us through life. 4. Animals that clash with your personal element. In Feng Shui, the 5 elements, earth, fire, wood, metal, and water, are fundamental to how energy flows through both the physical environment and our personal lives. Each of us is born with a dominant element that governs our personality, actions, and how we interact with the world. These elements are deeply connected to the natural world and to specific animals that represent each element. For example, the tiger represents wood, the snake represents fire, and the dragon represents earth. Each of these animals embodies specific characteristics related to their elements. When these animals appear in artwork, they bring that specific elemental energy into the space. However, what happens when the animal depicted in a painting conflicts with your own personal element? The result can be subtle but impactful, creating an energetic clash that disrupts harmony and balance in your life. Let's say your personal element is metal, which is associated with qualities like clarity, precision, and analytical thinking. If you place a wood-associated animal, such as a tiger, in your living space, you are introducing an imbalance. Metal and wood are in opposition in Feng Shui. Wood grows and expands, which can drain the focused, structured energy of metal. Over time, this can cause emotional instability, poor decision-making, or unexpected challenges in both personal and professional life. You may experience a sense of being overwhelmed or unable to maintain control over situations. This energetic conflict may not be immediate, but it will slowly manifest as tension or confusion in your life. Similarly, if your personal element is water, placing a fire-associated animal like a lion or snake can be problematic. Fire and water are opposite elements, with fire symbolizing passion and intensity, while water represents calm and fluidity. Fire can drain water's energy, causing imbalance. This could lead to emotional volatility, difficulties in relationships, or even financial instability. Over time, the imbalance may affect your overall well-being and sense of peace. The importance of aligning your artwork with your personal element is often overlooked, but it plays a significant role in shaping the energy of your home. As Feng Shui suggests, everything, every image, color, and object carries a specific vibration that influences the energy flow. By understanding the compatibility between your elemental energy and the animals depicted in paintings, you can create a space that nurtures your personal growth, balances your emotions, and supports your goals. 5. Sorrowful or tragic themes. While art can inspire and uplift, it can also influence our emotional state, often without us realizing it. The Buddha's teachings highlight the impermanence of all things, our emotions, our lives, and the world around us. Sorrow, sadness, and grief are part of the human experience, but we are encouraged to find wisdom and peace beyond these fleeting emotions. When we choose artwork with sorrowful or tragic themes, we invite heavy energy into our homes, which can subtly affect our emotions and our relationships. Paintings that evoke sadness, loss, or isolation, such as empty landscapes, solitary figures, or melancholic portraits, bring an energy that resonates with emotional heaviness. These images can be beautiful from an artistic perspective, but their emotional impact can be profound. When placed in high-traffic areas like the living room or hallway, these sorrowful images can infiltrate the emotional atmosphere of the entire household. Over time, the constant exposure to such themes may lead to a pervasive sense of sadness or a lack of joy. People living in the space may feel more emotionally distant, disconnected, or simply drained of energy. The Buddha spoke often about the nature of suffering and how attachment to it can prevent us from finding peace. Just as we are advised not to dwell on negative thoughts or emotions, surrounding ourselves with art that reflects despair or sorrow can pull us further into that state of mind. In contrast, images of joy, peace, and abundance can elevate the energy of a space, helping to create an atmosphere of calm and positivity. Buddhist philosophy teaches that our surroundings should support our emotional and spiritual growth. A home is meant to be a sanctuary where we find rest, healing, and rejuvenation. When the energy of a room is laden with sorrow, it becomes difficult to experience those qualities of peace and harmony. For example, instead of displaying paintings of lonely figures, one might choose to adorn their home with images that symbolize community, abundance, and love, like blooming flowers, vibrant landscapes, or families coming together. The impact of sorrowful or tragic art is not just about aesthetics, it's about energy. Our environment affects us on a subconscious level. When we surround ourselves with images that uplift us, we create a space that nourishes our mind and spirit. Art that symbolizes happiness, growth, and vitality invites positive energy into our lives and helps to maintain emotional balance. In summary, the art we choose for our homes is more than just a reflection of taste. It shapes the energy of the space and influences how we feel. Whether it's through the alignment of animals with our personal elements or the choice of uplifting themes, the energy of our surroundings has a profound impact on our emotional and spiritual well-being. By being mindful of the messages our art sends, we can create a harmonious environment that supports our goals, emotional health, and overall happiness. Now that we've explored the types of paintings to avoid, let's discuss the significance of where you place your artwork in your home. Placement is just as important as the content of the painting itself. Even a beautiful and positive painting can cause issues if placed in the wrong location. Placing a painting above your bed is considered poor practice in Feng Shui. The area above the bed, especially around the head, is believed to be a sensitive space. When a painting is hung in this area, it can cause a subconscious mind to remain alert, preventing restful sleep. This leads to insomnia, restless nights, and a feeling of heaviness upon waking. The video suggests that heavy or complex images, should be avoided above the bed, as they disrupt emotional and physical rest. An altar is a sacred space in many homes, particularly for those who follow Buddhist or spiritual practices. It serves as a place for prayer, reflection, and connection with the divine. When a painting is placed directly opposite the altar, it can disrupt the peaceful energy of the sacred space. Paintings with dynamic energy, such as bright colors or moving subjects, can clash with the stillness required for spiritual connection. The video advises choosing serene and calming art for spaces that face an altar to maintain spiritual harmony. The main entrance is considered the mouth of chai in Feng Shui, where energy enters the home. The video explains that placing a painting directly opposite the entrance can either help or hinder the flow of energy. If the painting is chaotic or aggressive, it will repel positive energy, causing discomfort and tension as soon as someone enters the house. However, a calm and welcoming painting can attract good energy, making the home feel inviting and peaceful. Placing paintings near sources of electromagnetic energy, such as refrigerators or electrical outlets, is discouraged in Feng Shui. These sources of energy emit fluctuating fields that can distort the vibrations of artwork, causing it to lose its calming effect. Over time, this misalignment of energy can lead to disruptions in the overall energy flow of the home. Mirrors are powerful tools in Feng Shui, as they can reflect and amplify energy. When a painting is placed directly across from a mirror, it can create an energy mirage. The reflection of the painting can confuse the mind and create visual overlap, leading to tension, distraction, and mental fatigue. This is particularly true if the artwork depicts people or animals with expressive eyes or dynamic poses. The video cautions that mirrors and paintings must be carefully balanced to avoid these energetic clashes. The key takeaway from this video is that the energy within your home is shaped by the objects you place in it, and paintings are no exception. By consciously selecting artwork that harmonizes with the energy of your space and placing it thoughtfully, you can invite positive energy, prosperity, and peace into your life. Small adjustments like repositioning a painting or replacing it with one that aligns better with your personal energy can lead to profound changes in your home's atmosphere and your overall well-being. As we've seen, Feng Shui is not just about following rules. It's about cultivating awareness and understanding how the environment influences your life. By being mindful of the energy you invite into your home through the paintings you choose, you can create a space that nurtures happiness, health, and fortune. Remember, your home is a reflection of your inner world, and by aligning the two, you can achieve greater harmony and peace in your life. Let your living space become a sanctuary where good energy flows freely and supports your highest potential.